Hello, welcome to Story Makers. My name is Keshav Puri, and I'm back again with another fantastic story, another success story. And today I'm sharing my screen space with an amazing gentleman who has a lovely smile and much more teachings to offer. Please welcome Dr. Sridhar on Story Makers. Hi, sir. How are you doing today?
Hi, Keshav. A delight to be here with you and to share the screen space along with you. Look forward to an
Fantastic.
engaging conversation.
Thank you, thank you. But again, I would love to say that whenever I see IITs doing wonders, like it's a normal thing, okay? Like, come on, if any wonder is happening in the world, there is an IITian present there doing something to make it more interesting and more valuable for the people. So thank you so much, first of all, for doing that. So how was your
Absolutely.
IIT life, if I can just ask, if you can shed some
Oh,
light on that?
it was, I think, magical. Was at home till the school got over, till my 12th was done. And then first time going to a hostel, being out of the home, being with a bunch of super smart kids. Terrific learning experience and an amazingly humbling experience.
Wow.
We all enter the campus having accomplished a lot, and we walk with a chip on our shoulder saying, "Hey, I'm smart. I cracked it. I did it right." And then you go see these people, very simple-looking kids from small towns, very simple in the English and their demeanor, but their fundas are awesome, and it just blows you off. It just brings you down to earth, and it's a very humbling experience. And I think the best thing about the whole IT experience was the peer group you got to interact with. I think we're very, very fortunate and blessed to have a fantastic peer group with us. Incidentally, my batch that was the mechanical engineering, Arvind Kejriwal was my classmate in mechanical engineering.
Wow.
And so a lot of famous personalities are there who are doing great things in life. But very nice having that super peer group along with us.
Fantastic, fantastic. I also read about Deeksha, and the more I read about it, the more fascinating it becomes for me. And I'm really thrilled for that I get an opportunity to speak to you because the way you are bringing this change in the academic environment around the students, it is wonderful. But before I jump to that or any other question, I just quickly want to understand, and for the people who are watching us right now, that what is that few things that you're feeling are not correct or not they are not falling right in the academic environment and educational system in India.
So if I look at the 11th and 12th space, Keshav, this
Yes.
way largely we are doing our work right now. I think there are a couple of very serious gaps which are there. And one of is it what you started the introduction, this whole aura about the IITs, yeah, or the AIMS, or the top-notch institutions. There's just way too much hype we as a country, as people put on these institutions and create way too much pressure on our kids. You have 12 lakhs, 14 lakh kids writing the examination. And then you have 80,000 seats in medicine, 15,000 seats in the IIT, and you have 15 lakh kids writing it. Which means 1% of the kids are going to have the opportunity to study in the top institutions in the country.
Right.
And our system, unfortunately, makes the other 99% feel like failures. And that is really wrong. Yeah, as a system, it's a big lapse that we have in our education system in the 11th and 12th space, that you make way too many people feel like losers. And the moment you feel like a loser, it doesn't bring out the best in you afterwards. And everyone has something amazing they can offer if they believe they have something to offer. And the even sadder part is even the 15,000 who qualify, right? The strange Indian system, the competitive system that we have, the kid who's got a 1,000 rank, I would be delighted, man. In 15 lakh students, you got a 1,000 rank. You go talk to him. He's, Arey Baba, I should have got a 500 rank, man. I got a 1,000 rank. And he feels like he's lost out. I didn't get Bombay computer science. I've got mechanical in some other college. The 1,000 rank kid also feels like he's a loser. You talk to the 500 rank kid, he feels like a loser. Only the top one rank maybe feels he's a winner. And the rest of the system feels they've lost. And I think that has to fundamentally change. That's a major issue that we have. And the second issue that we have is something the government is also aware of, is the wellness of our kids is really at stake with this insane, intense competitive system that we've created. You heard about children suicides and teenage self-harm, etc. Very sad, very sad. And the social media is not making it any easier for the children. It's a pressure cooker for them to begin with, and then social media just amplifies everything out of proportion. So it's a very difficult time for our children from the mental well-being and wellness space of our children. So if you ask me what are the two problems I see with my 11th and 12th space, I'll say, hey, these are my two problems that I largely see in the system.
I feel you've pointed it out exactly what the problem is, and this has to change, right? And I've read that Deeksha is doing Deeksha is taking wonderful steps to kind of change that, or maybe swift a little, and maybe find a better path for that, right? So perfect. You've been an IT graduate, mechanical engineering. Then you went to America to do your PhD. Then you came back to India to teach and become a teacher. This is cute, okay? First of all, in Gen Z language of millennials, this is cute. But when I talk about, but when I see it as, one has to earn, one has to think about family, property, money, all of that. This man has done so much and came back to teaching. Why and how is my question.
So definitely, it's a very cute story, and if I think back, I'll say it was a rather crazy story. Would I do it once again? I don't know if I'd had the guts to go through that journey. But I've been very blessed to have a good education to begin with. Very fortunate to study at the IITs and to get great profs and amazing friends and students studying with me. And then, like most kids in the IITs, either you apply and go abroad, or you do a CAT MBA and you do an IM MBA, or you go for a job. Okay. I did that, got all three options, and then got the scholarship to go study in the US. And this was 1989. Yeah, India had still not opened up, and US was still very glamorous. Very few people got to go study in the US, get a scholarship to go over there. So hey, the attraction was there, and I packed up my bags and I went to the US. I was very lucky to study at a very good university called the Johns Hopkins University. I did my PhD over there, and then got a job, started working as a researcher in one of the companies in the US. Okay. A fairy tale journey, you would say. Yeah. And enjoyed my time there. I thought there's tremendous learnings we got just by seeing the people there and the attitude towards work, dignity of labor. Yeah, no work is big or small. They just roll up their sleeves and they'll do their jobs. Yeah, amazing. The terrific stories I've had. And I had a wonderful time over there. My issue came is when people would meet me and talk to me and they say, hey, you're from India. Is it true that there are elephants in the road and you go to the school in a bullock cart? And questions like that they will ask. Is it very dirty? And do you have cows lying on the roads? And these are questions would get me very angry, very annoyed. Yeah, and the anger would come largely because part of it is true. And the fact remains is when you are in India, you'll only find fault and you'll curse what's happening. When you're outside India, you become very patriotic. Yeah, जैसे कि family में है ना, if you're in the family, you'll all crib about each other. But if an outsider cribs about your family, all of you will gang up and fight the outsider, right? So if some Western person finds fault with my country, blood would boil. And another thing that troubled me was, why am I staying there? It's a beautiful country. I'm making a living. I'm doing very well. But all said and done, that's not my country. And the guy who lost a job can always point his finger and say, you brown guy came from India and took away my job. And I would not have a justification for it. Right. And so if I love the country and it's so beautiful, so nice, the only thing to do is go back to your country and make it beautiful and nice. So you rightfully can stay there, proudly stay in your country. And so debated, thought about it a lot, and packed up my bags one fine day. Didn't apply for green card or citizenships. I kept everything there, just closed it all up, and I came back to India. And the thought process is, क्या करेंगे India में? So if you want to make a difference and help India in that journey, what can you do? Right. And my parents were delighted that I'm coming back, and they applied for jobs for me before I came. And there's a very nice agency called Tata Administrative Services, TAS, which is like the IAS for the Tata companies. Right. So my dad also applied for that. I went through 8 rounds of interviews and got selected in TAS. And so parents were delighted. Hey, beta आ गया वापस, job भी मिल गया, शादी करेगा, settle हो जाएगा, life is done. And then I dropped the bombshell on them and say, no, I'm not going to take that job. I'm going to become a teacher and teach children.
Wow.
And they said, why? I said, hey, the only way I can make some influence in society is if I had money and I was a politician, I could change policies. I don't have money. I'm not a politician. The only thing I can do is change the hearts of children. If I'm able to talk to children and spread the word amongst children, it's not a single person trying to make a difference. You'll get an army of children who possibly can make a difference in India. So I said I want to become a teacher and do my little part to society in being a teacher. Absolute chaos in the house, ruskus everywhere. I was very fortunate that time to also meet my wife, Lalit. She's a chartered accountant. And amazing that she agreed to marry me for a guy who gave up everything, didn't have a job, was going to become a teacher in India. But amazing that she partnered in this journey and helped me have the stabilizing influence. And then we started our journey as a teacher with the hope of doing something in our country. And my dream was, be a teacher, have 40, 50 kids, teach them, play basketball with them, have a jolly time, and then just go on with life was what I had thought of when I came back in 98, 25 years ago. The journey has been quite remarkable since then, absolutely unexpected, not something I thought of or dreamt of, but been a very rewarding journey. I think the best decision of my life was to come back and to be back in our country doing what we can for our country. I think that's been the highlight of my life.
Wonderful. People who are watching, learn something from this. This is what we should do. And that's how we can make our India, best country in the world in every sense, okay? Because we take the step to make, this is our country, right? So who will do?
Absolutely.
We have to do it, right?
We have
so
to
thank
do it.
you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Dr. Sridhar, thank you so much for, just not thinking that. Executing is also very important. If you've kind of done that execution. So thank you for doing that. Now, I love the tagline of Deeksha, which says nurturing success of every child, right? So why this tagline, and can you shed some light on this as well?
Absolutely. So I go back to the first question you asked me, right? What are the problems you see in our Indian education system? And the first problem I said was the system is such that it makes everyone feel like a loser. Yeah, and that's not, my child should not be graduating feeling like a loser. He should graduate feeling, boss, I can conquer the world. He has to go empowered, enthusiastic, ready to face the world. And if you create the whole system saying, I want the rank, I want the rank one, I want the rank one, there's only one kid who's going to get the rank one.
Correct.
And I have 500 kids in the school, and I say the rank one is the only priority I give. My focus is on the top rank. All the other people feel that they're not relevant. Right. So consciously, we made a choice around 15 years ago that, hey, the point you're putting out there is not the fact that I got rank one or rank two or rank three. We get top ranks. But the fact is I have made kids successful. And the idea is not the top 5 or top 10. How do you make every kid successful? So force the whole system to think that your success is not the top rank you get. Your success is every child who goes out feels I'm a winner. I've got a future ahead of me. I know I'm going to do something in my life. How do I create that in my children? So that's why I said nurturing success of every child is our motto, which forces every teacher to start thinking of every child in the classroom, not just the topper over there. And then how do you make them feel like winners? So you are again referring to the IITian story, right? It's great. IITians are behind many great things. Or you have top medical colleges, law colleges. It's very easy to say success is when you go to the best college. Yeah. Let me share a story. There was a child with me. Her name was Arundhati. Yeah, this was around 20 years, 18 years ago. Studied with me, was very keen on engineering, studied hard, worked hard, got good grades in her board examination, but did not crack the IIT examination. And even in the local engineering examination was not in a good enough score to join computer science. So she joined civil engineering. If you pause the video over there and say, hey, what do you think of the story so far? By conventional, traditional Indian societal norms, that is defined a failure. You joined a local engineering college, civil engineering is not high in the totem pole, right? You got the big list of colleges and departments, and civil engineering is not there. But this kid said, no, I want to do civil engineering. That's why I've taken it and I'm going to do it. And she studied and she went through her course. And 4 years later, she calls me and said, sir, I'm very happy to share with you. I've completed my civil engineering and I'm the gold medalist in my VTU university. She was rank 1 in civil engineering in the university. And she didn't stop with that. She went on to then finish her master's and her PhD. Now she's a professor in civil engineering, one of the top colleges here in Bangalore. Now, when you listen to the end of the story, Is that a successful story? I'd say absolutely. Here's someone who has done something significant, gone on to take a very prominent position in society and doing extremely well.
Right.
So the myopic view of top colleges, top ranks, top departments, we need out from there to, hey, what is it you can do? What is it you will excel in what you do?
Right.
Empower you with the skills and empower you with the confidence that, boss, I'm going to go and make it happen. Yeah, whether I went to IIT or went to ABC College or DEF College,
Right.
I'm going to make the best of what I have there. It is in my hands to carve my future. I'm going to make my future happen. And so that's how our thought process has always been. That's how the orientation of all our teachers have been.
Right.
And that's how our interaction with our children and parents have been as well.
A lot of students going in stress, that is for sure. Second, I see a lot of mishappenings coming up. Kids doing suicides or maybe thinking of that, living in that one corner, locking in themselves in the room. What do you have to say about it? And if somebody who's watching us right now and going through that phase, what that student can do, if you can help us there?
Absolutely. So a couple of things. I'll just pull back a little bit. A lot of this comes from a feeling of helplessness. Children want to do things and they're just helpless that they're not able to do it simply because they don't have the time to do it.
Right.
Very often it comes from that. They're just busy going to school, going to tuitions, just getting hammered with work and not having the time to sit and do that work. So one of the first things we changed in our pedagogy and curriculum is we integrated the teaching between your board and the competitive examinations and said that, hey, if a teacher is teaching you physics, he will teach you physics for whatever level you want. You want to do board exam, he will teach you. You want to do medical exam, he'll teach you. You want to do engineering exam, he'll teach you. There's one teacher for you who takes responsibility for your learning. That teacher will talk to you, help you, guide you, support you, and do your teaching process. Finish it all by 4 o'clock so the child can go home by 4:35, play for an hour, have some fun, and 6 o'clock, freshen up and get time to study. So the first thing that the reason children in any examination feel helpless, feel lost and frustrated is the helplessness because they don't have time. So first of all, the kids should have time available for them to study. Then the moment the time comes itself, things start falling in place. The second thing I think to help children, whichever field and domain you are, is to have someone to talk to. Yeah, just someone who can listen to you. They don't have to give you solutions. Very often, kids solve their own problems. They just need someone to talk to who will listen to them, not be judgmental. The problem they have when they talk to parents is very often parents either jump in to give a solution or they find fault with them. Right. So the child says, I go to the parent, more tension only for me, so I'll not go to my parent. Yeah, and he's afraid to go to the friend because peer pressure. What will my friend think of me, that I'm not capable of doing it, that I'm doing bad? He has to maintain that aura of being very happy and very successful. So that he's very scared to talk to his friend. So there's no place for them to talk to. Right. So in our system, like I said, we have our teachers and we have, it's called Deeksha parent. Every teacher is assigned 15, 20 children and he has to talk to the child once a week. Patiently, calmly sit outside, have a general chat, inquire all the wellness of the child, inquire about the academics, what is happening at home. There's a lot of stress that kids have because of happenings on at home. And post-COVID, right, there was a lot of trauma the nation has gone through, and the trauma is now imprinted on our children's minds. Those kids in 8th standard, 7th standard, now coming to 11th and 12th, having gone through the trauma in their house with their parents not being well, all that has been suppressed, and now it's manifesting and coming on. So the teacher talks to the child. Then we have something called an open door policy. So there are numbers displayed prominently all across our campuses. Children have it in their diaries and their mobiles. Anytime they want to talk to someone, they can take a phone and call. And that phone is monitored 24/7 by a group of sociologists and psychologists, young people, 25, 30-year-old students of psychology, sociology, who understand these kids and relate to the kids. So we have 1 hour every week, a program like this, which is a very interactive self-discovery program. Kids don't like to be given bhashans nowadays. So we put a point for discussion and say, hey, how would you react to the situation? How will you deal with it? What solutions have you found in your life when you got this issue with you? Have a more discussion and interactive process to help them out with it. So we have many more such programs. We have something, DSTA, something to think about. Videos every day, 1 3-minute, 5-minute video is played, which just gets the child to think. It's something, it's not academic at all. It's about life. It's about what is my purpose? Am I doing it right? You share some story of someone, yeah, just to make them think. And that triggers conversations which make you look at the bigger picture. 8 programs we do right now for our children just on their wellness to make sure that they're able to take the pressure as they go through the 11th and 12th.
Fantastic. And where exactly they can go and see all of this, these 8 programs?
So if you go to our website, deekshalearning.com, and then look at wellness, all of these programs are student wellness. They're listed over there. They talk about it. There are blogs which have stories of children and parents sharing their stories, what's gone on with them. Very nice, touching stories. And the best way to teach children is only through stories. You share stories. Kids
I
relate.
completely agree with you here. And I guess people who are watching, you can go to deekshalearning.com, and there you can find the wellness section, where there you can find these 8 programs, and you can opt whichever one you feel better is for you and for your children, whoever is looking. Lovely. I also want to understand, so now Deeksha is, associating with Vedantu as well. So if you can tell us about what is happening there.
Again, this is a tie-up that started last year. Vedantu is partnering with us, trying to bring the best of the physical world and the digital world to our children. So if I look at academically in terms of pedagogy, teachers, teaching, we do wonderfully well. We have a lot of systems we've developed over the years, and we help our children.
Right.
Vedant comes from a space of online teaching, online products, and online tools to help make the education more effective. Right. And the idea of us partnering together is to say, hey, can we bring all of these tools to help our children as well? Right. So some of the simple changes that we are now implementing one by one in our classrooms is we're starting something called impact classes. Now, if you look at competitive examination, the key is you learn your subject, you know your knowledge, and then you need to be fast and you need to be accurate. End of the day, you have 100 questions 1 hour or 60 questions 1 hour. You've got to be quick and you've got to be accurate. You can't make a mistake. You make a mistake is negative marks. How do you train kids to become fast and accurate? Yeah, I can give them papers, I say study at home and do it, but the ecosystem is not creating them to start thinking quickly, acting quickly. So we've started something called impact classes. So every 2 sessions will be followed by a 3rd session impact class, which is revising your 1st and 2nd session. So I've learned some concepts, I've learned some tricks, I've learned some problems in my first 2 sessions. How do I internalize it and become fast is my 3rd session. So the impact class is like your Kaun Banega Crorepati, very popular series all of us have watched. And then you have the audience poll, right? So the quiz participant says, okay, I want to get the audience poll, and they press buttons, and A, B, C, D, you see the buttons. So what we've done now is given clickers to our children. So in the 3rd class that happens, we summarize what we taught them, teach them the shortcuts that have to be done. And now, hey, let us gamify your whole practice to make yourself faster and quicker. So the questions will pop up on the screen, and kids have their clickers. They will press the buttons and answer the questions. And the moment they answer the question, the leaderboard will come up. Okay, who answered it quickly? First question, in how many seconds he answered, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, the leaderboard will come. Then how many said A, B, C, D, the poll will come. Then you know that 40% said B, but the right answer is C. Then the teacher will discuss what was right, what was wrong. The kids will be doing high five. Hey, my name is up there, my name is not there. And then as the class progresses on, you start getting the rank list of everyone in that group of 40. 10 names, 15 names come up on the leaderboard over there. One learning I've had in my life that hey. If you're alive, things are going to go up and down. Your heartbeat, if you look at it, goes up and goes down. That is life, yeah. The only time you're going to have a level, smooth heartbeat is when you're dead. So if you're going to be living, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. And when you have the downs, have belief, especially for all the youngsters out there who want to go on an entrepreneurial journey, want to do things over there. My only advice to them is make sure what you're doing is good. It's good for you and good for society. Yeah, there should be genuine good that you're doing. Be sincere about your work hard. Help will come from various ways. Keep faith, keep heart. Great things happen, miracles happen. That will be my advice to the youngsters out there.
Superb. So thank you so much, Dr. Sridhar, for taking our time. Your story is quite inspirational. I learned a lot while listening to you. And I hope that we have more teachers like you who are interested in teaching more and other things. rather than other things which they are interested right now in. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. And I guess the people who are watching us right now take away some great inspirational stuff from here, and they can apply in their lives as well, and they can change their lives after watching this video, because this is what the motto of Story Makers, the show, of the motto of the show is. And I hope, guys who are watching us right now, you liked it and you took away what you wanted. And in case you want to reach out to Dr. Sridhar or probably Deeksha, we'll add the links in the description. You can open that, follow that. I'll help you with a number as well, in case if it's possible, any guy's number where you can probably call and just talk to what kind of help you are looking out for. And I hope that I get a chance to meet in person this wonderful gentleman who has a lovely smile and a very positive guy, Dr. Sridhar. Thank you so much for taking out time. It was a pleasure talking to you.
A pleasure, Keshav, and definitely look forward to catching up, swapping stories, and spending some time together.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Huh? Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye.